Why, hello, Gene. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. We're just getting started. I was on BTEC's live stream and watching it until he ended the live. So yeah, I was gonna wait a little bit longer. So if like the timing seemed weird and the live stream was scheduled for 11:30 a.m. my time, which is less than an hour from now, it's because he ended his live stream. I was waiting until his live stream ended. But I'm glad to have you here, and lots to talk about today, this Thursday. So the 19th, and doing a live today, and probably pre-recording a video for tomorrow because tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. So yeah, I got lots going on this weekend. But glad to have you here, Gene. Welcome, man. We got lots to discuss. You know, Jeremy, what's up, man? Welcome in too. Glad to have you here as well. So, um, I'll be pulling up your guys' chat onto the screen and just leaving my Helium mobile promo code right there for anyone that wants to try it out and sign up. You can use it, get your first month for free. My wife just opened up another line this morning on it and used the promo to get her first month free. So, big shout out to my wife. Um, she decided to leave visible just because it made more sense to her that she would do the Helium mobile mapping while she's doing the Amazon Flex, which is her side hustle. And so virtually making her phone free because she's going to be using the earned mobile rewards to pay her phone bill. So that's pretty much the idea. Um, Anyways, let me get on camera here. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I do want to say big shout out to everybody who's watched the last couple of videos that I put out. I was extremely happy and extremely excited to be able to do that. Just because now you know that my wife's got her other car now, and so there's too. What up, Nia and Dang? What's going on, man? So I'm free to basically go and record at a park. Just sometimes kind of get out of this setting and just be outside and do a video and whatnot. Yeah, I have a Facebook. And yes, you can add me. As a matter of fact, I'm friends with BTEC on there. So if you're following BTEC, just look through his list of friends and you'll find me. But yeah, I was just, I was like really excited to do, the videos and they're doing pretty good. So shout out to everybody that viewed it, smashed the like button on it, shared it. I mean, you guys are great, amazing. I'm happy. And I'll continue to do more of it. I'm not going to do it so much because I don't want to oversaturate my channel with a lot of video content being outside. Because sometimes I do them from, inside my room is the idea. So I had a lot of fun, recording my quick thoughts on the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. I did that on top of South Mountain. So I was really up there. Yeah, Gene's following me on FB and X and Instagram. Gene follows me on a lot of social platforms. So, but yes, you may add me on Facebook if you want to. But anyways, in today's video, what I kind of just wanted to, discuss a question that I got. And so I'll be talking about, my thoughts and opinions and no emotional outbursts because I don't have any, but the Pixel 8a and the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. I got to ask which one I would absolutely choose if I had to only choose one. And so I'm going to give you guys that answer in this podcast today. But I'm also going to talk to you guys about, slightly a comparison between these two as to, how they are against each other. And it's a quite interesting thing. So I'm going to talk about that. I am also going to kind of jump into about this trend that I'm seeing, right? The Google Pixel 9, the iPhone 16, both of them releasing. The Pixel 9 releasing on Android 14 and not Android 15. Why it's a good thing, but why people are seeing it as a bad thing. And the same goes for the iPhone 16. Why is it releasing with iOS 18.0, which doesn't have the Apple Intelligence baked in? And, also when Android 15 will be available for the Google Pixels and even those that are going to be upgrading to it. And also a farewell to the Pixel 6 as this will be its last software update. So I'm going to be discussing that, and then also a thing that's kind of does with tech, but it's kind of outside of the realm of tech, and that is what to look out for with these new methods that online scammers are doing to basically obtain your information, to either snag your information, those types of things. So I'm going to be discussing that too as well, and kind of giving you some key pointers. I've been getting like tons of these scam calls and the new things that's going on with it, how they're getting all this information, since people are pretty much aware of the whole like the IRS thing or the bank thing. So we'll get a little bit into that. Anyway, so let's just start off with the main piece here. Pixel 8a and the Moto G Stylus 2022. I'm just going to knock out the 5G. Most devices today released are 5G capable, so I don't really think I need to mention that tag of the name. So it's just a Stylus 2024. However, I know someone's going to point out and be like, well, Moto still makes a Stylus that's an LTE only model. Yeah, I understand that, and I think that's pretty stupid of them to do that at this point. But hey, that's just my opinion. One man's opinion does not govern all when it comes down to it. So both of these devices are considered in the mid-range budget realm, even though I really don't consider the Pixel 8a to be a mid-range device. The only thing that even remotely makes this thing budget is the fact of its body build, and of course the different camera sensor compared to the main flagship device. So the Pixel 8 uses a Samsung sensor for its camera sensor, the GN01, which is a 50 megapixel camera sensor, and it's still being used today. And the one in the Pixel 8a that's also in the Pixel 7a is a Sony IMX713, which is a 64 megapixel sensor. I could be wrong on the numerical code, but if I am, someone comment below and let me know. But I believe it's the IMX 713 or 736, one of the two. But it's a 64 megapixel sensor. And while some people will, hey, what's up, Coffee? Welcome, and thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. But I'm doing pretty good, Coffee. Thanks for asking. So that would probably be like the only real big difference between the Pixel 8a and the Pixel 8. Which is why I don't consider this device to be a mid-range. It's a budget, yes, but it's a budget flagship. And that's where I will, post this as. Where I post the Moto G Stylus 2024, this is a mid-range device. Now, yes, it's using the same processor chip as the 2023 model, which my son has. And my son was telling me the other day, he's like, hey, Dad, if you want to use my phone to compare against your phone, I'll let you use it to record a video. I'm like, so yes, I do have the Stylus 2022, which my younger son is now using as his main daily driver device. And then my oldest son has the 2023 model, and I have the 2024 model. Now, there's a lot of good things that comes with the Moto G Stylus 2024, hands down, is one of the reasons that I'm really excited to have this device and be able to make the content I did the last couple of days, and really want people to understand how good this phone really is for what it is. Now, yes, it is, using the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1. I don't know why they decided to go with it, but, it is a capable processor to be able to do a lot of the things that most people do on a day-to-day basis when it comes to like social media and things like that. So if you're like on X, you're on Instagram and those things, you're not going to have any problems at all. You're not going to see any jitter or jank that's going to happen with it. If you're not going to see any, bogged down, for God's sakes. I mean, it's pretty smooth. But here's the kicker, though. There's an exception to that rule. If you are turning on RAM boost, which is basically providing it with virtual RAM, and what that does is it takes a portion of the internal storage and it formats it to be considered as virtual random access memory. So the problem with that is that while it's intended to extend how much RAM you have, it actually does more harm to the phone than it does good. And let me explain. So for those who don't know, random access memory, basically that's how your apps run in background, right? So if you have 5 apps open and you're switching in between them, the reason why they don't refresh and relaunch is because the RAM is basically holding them in place. So when you go back to the app, you're back right where you left off. This is why if you open up developer options and you want to save on battery life, I would always tell people, open up developer options, get in there, find, where it allows you to have so many apps in background, and just set the limitations to 3 apps. And it'll extend your battery life because you're not running so much, energy to provide RAM for so many apps to stay in background and be able to just, function when you switch in between them. But that's what random access memory does. It just allows an app to basically stay in the moment that you left it and allow you to come back to it and pick up from exactly where you left off. Now, when you're taking part of the internal storage and using it, as what they call virtual RAM, because it's not RAM specific, but it's going to act like it. Again, you're taking something that has a different agenda, a different task, and you're reassigning it a new task. It's not going to perform flawlessly. And so in this case, this is where, you know, it becomes a problem. And this is kind of the thing that I'm familiar with, because way back in like 2013, 2014, I used to use a service called Link to SD, which you had to root your Android device to be able to do this. And what it did was it allowed you to take part of your, you know, your SD card and make it part of the internal storage. And this was well before adoptable storage became a thing with Android Marshmallow. That's when they introduced the adoptable storage natively built into the operating system of Android, allowing some phones to use the SD card as part of the internal storage. But one of the things you could also do with that is you can actually like use your SD card and format part of it to become virtual RAM. But even though you were able to say like you had a phone that could take up to 128 gigabyte SD card, and then you went ahead and you formatted like 64 gigs of that to be virtual random access memory, it didn't make the phone run silky smooth. Certain things did break within app functionality, and also there was times where the phone was just really bogged down, especially in gaming. So this is how I know that that's the exact same method that they're doing with the virtual RAM and RAM boost. So my advice to a lot of people out there who's picking up this phone is turn off RAM boost. It is default turned on, and it's default set to 2 gigabytes of extra RAM. But this phone has 8 gigabytes of RAM, so you don't really need it. So you can just like turn it off, and your gaming experience will be better. Like, I will make a separate video kind of just showing people. So I will turn on RAM boost in a video and then do some gaming on it, and you guys can see like if it stutters or if it lags or anything like that, and then switch it off and just use the natively inputted RAM and then game, and then see if you guys see a difference. I see a difference and I feel a difference in my gaming, but I'll show you guys in a future video, so be tuned for that video. Now, honestly, the biggest question is if I can only choose one of these two devices, which am I going to stick out with? And yes, I'm going to say the Google Pixel 8a. And while most people will say, well, it's because he's a Pixel fanboy, I'm going to tell you two reasons why. It has nothing to do with the fact that I like Google Pixel devices, because honestly, if these were identical in these two areas, I would choose the Moto G Stylus. Okay, there's only one major reason why I would choose the Pixel 8a over the Moto G Stylus 2024, and that is years of software support. These two devices are on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to device support. While getting 7 years of software support with the Pixel 8a is great, I know that this device is going to be compatible and going to have the latest, security patches, the latest features from here going forward. It may not get the brand new oogly googly features, but it's going to get a lot of the features that are going to be like seriously baked into the operating system. And so I know that this device will be supported. Motorola has a very bad habit of not supporting their devices. And that is the only major real big thing about the G Stylus 2024 that, I find to be aggravating. Can this device be flashed with a custom ROM? To answer that question for Brian Lau, I'm going to say this, Brian, yes, it can. I actually already unlocked the device for OEM unlock, which means that I can connect this into my platform tools, run ADB, and basically unlock the bootloader on this device. Now it's up to the developers on XDA and any other platform that they're on to actually build a custom ROM for this device. And I hope that they intend to do so, because I would love to continue the lifespan of the Moto G Stylus going in the future. Like, this device is really, really awesome. And I think you guys should actually go to a store and hold one in hand to know exactly what I'm talking about with just the design aspects of this phone. And what Motorola did in updating it was a very good job. Yes, the back is vegan leather and it feels nice. And this is another one of those phones, just like my Pixel 8a, that I am superly comfortable rocking without a case. I do have a case, and as a matter of fact, if the USPS person delivers a package today while I'm on the live stream, then you guys will get to see an unboxing of what B-Tech sent me. If you guys didn't know, B-Tech sent me a box. I know he threw some cases in for this. So either way, I will either have a video or it'll be on live stream, but I will show you guys the cases that he sent me and how they fit onto this device. Since he found out I got the G Stylus 2024, he just sent me a couple of cases, but he said he sent some other goodies in the box. I don't know what they are. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what he sent in. Last time he sent me in a flip phone and a TCL device. The flip phone I like messing around with because it like takes me away from smartphones and puts me on what I consider to be what's called dumb phones, but also, you know, a very good experience, kind of like a palate cleanser to just get away from the day-to-day monotony of smartphones. So um, yeah, I'm waiting for those to come in, and then I will have some videos on it. But the G Stylus 2024, I really wish, and not just not just the Stylus series, but like the other devices from Motorola. I really wish Motorola would give a good amount of support, even if they were to go with what the Pixels used to have before, which was 3 major software updates and then, you know, 5 years of security patches. If Motorola would just do that, I would be happy. I would be content with Motorola in them doing that, because at least I know, like with the 2024, it will get Android 15, it will get Android 16, and it will stop at Android 17. And then from there, it will just get security patch updates. And because I have an unlocked bootloader with this particular device, means that anyone else that does development on it, I can flash a custom ROM onto this device. The only thing that makes it a little, it's not gonna make it hard, but it's just gonna be a little bit more of a challenge for developers to build a custom ROM for the Stylus 2024. And the reason why is because there's a lot of Motorola software baked in that is needed, not needed, but you know, it's to give you an experience with a stylus other than just pulling it out and touching the screen. So you do have some Motorola software on here. It's nothing comparable to the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the S Pen features that phone has, but it does have some cool features into it. And so trying to build a custom ROM and bake all those things into it, you know, it's a pretty tough spot for developers to do, but they can do it. Don't get me wrong. They're fucking geniuses. They can do it. They just need to have all the right things in place. And especially, you know, if like the Moto Edge series devices, if they're able to actually take those and make those basically compatible to the G Stylus 2024 or even the 2023 model, that would be like the way that they could actually make something very, very, very near close to what Motorola has done with stock Android and its adaptability and compatibility with a stylus. They would need that. They would need that bridge. So, but that is number one, is software support between both of these devices. So one is getting more support than normal. The other one is getting less support than normal, right? Because if I'm going to chalk it up, it's normal to get three software updates and 5 years of security patches. So the fact that the Pixel 8a gets 7 years of software support, and at this, the Moto G Stylus 2024 more than likely is only going to get one major software update, and that's to Android 15, and it's not even going to be this time this year. Like, if I'm wrong, this is one of those times where someone like was to comment and say, "Oh, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's going to get Android 15 on time." Look, I would love to be wrong. This is one of those scenarios where it's like, yes, I would love to be wrong in that, and for them to update the G Stylus 2024 to Android 15 before the end of this year. But knowing Motorola and their habits and patterns, it's not going to come till about April or May of next year. What up, B-Tech? And so that is the only problem with it, why I would choose the Pixel 8a over the G Stylus 2024. That's reason number one. Reason number two is if you strip away all the shenanigans of these devices and go down to basically the brain of these devices, the Pixel 8a uses a Tensor G3, which is the same processor chip that's in the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. The G Stylus does not use a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen series like the Moto Edge does. It uses, you know, the 6th Gen 1. And so it has what I consider to be the mediocre chip. It's a capable chip, don't get me wrong. It can do basic stuff on it. Longevity-wise, I do see it, you know, showing its age when it starts to age. Whereas the Pixel 8a is not really going to show any age because, like wine, Pixels seem to get better over time. And so that's the reason why I would choose the Pixel 8a over the G Stylus. So if you kind of think about it, that speaks high volumes for the G Stylus 2024, because I have not said it's because of the cameras, and I have not said it's because of the display or the overall performance. I'm just talking about things that's like, okay, you know what? If you're someone who upgrades every year, then this is going to be a great device to pick up because you're going to upgrade within a year after you buy this. So you don't need this to remain, you know, on the latest and greatest. And I guarantee you my daughters want to come home. That's why they're messaging. Always message when I'm on a live. Let's see what they want. Oh no, that's not them. It's Pixel Superfans on Discord. They're doing something on the Pixel Superfans on Discord. But anyways, so that tells you guys just how closely of a good experience you're going to get with the G Stylus 2024 against the Pixel 8a. So now, if you're on the G Stylus 2022, moving to the 2024 is a no-brainer. The 2022 just has a lot of things on it. It was a good phone, don't get me wrong. It's a good phone. I enjoyed using it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think, you know, it's got a lot of good functionality to it. There's just some things on it that, like, I was just like willing to forgive Motorola for, but I did find it a bit irking. And I'm glad that they didn't have the same repetitive problems brought over to the 2024 model. And my son says on his model, the 2023 model, he's not having the same volume problem, which I don't know if you guys had the G Stylus 2022. Have you guys noticed that, like, the volume is not loud enough unless you have the phone all the way up to like 85-90% volume, and then you can start to hear videos? But if you drop it to like 50%, it is so dang quiet. It's almost as if there's no sound emitting from the speakers. Both of my 2022 models did that. The Metro version I have and the Boost Mobile version I have, both are like that. You don't hear shit from the speakers until it's like 85% volume. Then you can start hearing things, and it's just like, you know. So yeah, they did a great job with the G Stylus 2024. And another question that I got on it is, am I afraid that Motorola is going to see the hype behind this device, even though I'm late to the game with it? But the fact is that even in this time of the year, and somebody is making a video and telling you guys that it's a very, very good phone, am I afraid that Motorola is going to capitalize on it? And I am actually not afraid that they're going to capitalize on it. And I think it's a good thing for Motorola to come out of the gate swinging like Mike Tyson in this. If they were to make this their secondary flagship device, you know, running alongside the Moto Edge, I have no problems. Yes, it's going to be a bummer because obviously price increase is going to happen, right? Could you imagine the Moto G Stylus 2026 being the first ever actual flagship model of the G Stylus, and it coming at a price tag of $799? I mean, the bridge between mid-range device pricing and, you know, entry flagship pricing, the gap is closing, right? You know, Pixel 8a goes for $499, but the 256 model goes in for $549. The Pixel 9 goes for $799. There's rumors that the Pixel 9a is probably going to cost $599 at launch. So that's closing the gap. There's almost like not even a big enough gap to even say it's worth going for the more affordable, because you're only a couple of $100 away from just getting the flagship. Might as well just invest in the flagship and get majority of the features and support from other carriers. I know, not carriers, but other brand makers. Oh, it's bad on the 2023 model too? My son says his volume is fine on his phone. He's got the Metro version of the G Stylus 2023. I don't know if the volumes were bad on that one. He says they're not. So I don't know. Then again, you know, my son is young. You know, he's into that phase of music and stuff like that. So he probably has his volume at 100% volume all the time. So, hey, you never know. But yeah, there'll be a video next week, more in depth. And I'm actually going to take both these phones back to the park that I went to and do a photo comparison between both of them. People were just like, yo, you said that the photos from the G Stylus were capable and they were comparable to the Pixel 8a. And yes, I still stand by what I say in that video. In fact, I'll make a video. I'll show you guys. I will do a video vlog style, but also kind of like, you know, just to show the photo. So in that video, well, maybe some of the footage at the end I'll record with both phones so you guys can see a comparison between them. But yeah, I'll get that together. I'll plan how I'm going to make that video for you guys, and then have that video sometime next week comparing the cameras between the Pixel 8a and the Moto G Stylus 2024. Switching tracks a little bit, I kind of want to go into this whole thing with the iPhone 16 and with the Pixel 9, and both of them not releasing with what people expected them to release with. Like, I have gotten countless, messages and questions like, why didn't they release the Google Pixel 9 with Android 15? And like, I've responded to, to those messages, but I'm just gonna like flat out respond to all the questions that could be coming from different people with that same question. And I think it's a good move that Google did this, because if Android 15 was not ready yet, why put in a half-baked software into your latest flagship device to what? To ruin think about it. The Pixel 6 suffered the same problem. The launch of the Pixel 6 and Android 12 came out. And we all knew that Android 12 was half-baked at launch. Android 12 didn't smooth itself out to maybe like 4 months, 5 months after the Pixel 6, give or take. What? October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, about 5 months after, it began to smooth itself out. And then it became, like videos that people were posting, like, 5 months later or 6 months later, and the Pixel 6 is better than we thought in the beginning. And that was one of the things that was mentioned in a lot of people's review videos was, after several, security patch updates and pixel drops, the Pixel 6 became much better. And, the fingerprint sensor became a little faster, but it's still not the best. And people just went in on the Pixel 6 really hard. And that's because Android 12 was half baked. I mean, they didn't even have Android 12L ready. If you guys remember that version of Android 12, it was for larger displays. So they didn't even have that ready when they launched Android 12 on the Pixel 6. And so they didn't want to do a repeat of that. And I commend them for that. Put in the more stable operating system so that when people pre-order the phone and get their pre-orders right out the box, it's working, and it's working just fine, And so with that being said, the fact is that you're going to have a better experience on Android 14 with the Pixel 9 than you're going to have with Android 15. Because if you guys didn't know, Android 15 is set to launch on October 15th. So 10/15/2024 is the launch of Android 15, which is right around the time. Why that long? I don't know. I guess they're waiting for a lot of the dust to settle, or maybe they're just doing like last minute things. Because Android is no longer the same. Like, yes, B-Tech, why is there a point to update the software every year? And that would pertain to like older devices from the past. But Android 15 is a big jump from Android 14, not as the user interface, right? So don't be expecting an entire user interface makeover, but it is a big jump because Gemini AI is more incorporated into Android than what it was before. Like, think about it like this: Android 14, and then you bolt on Gemini to it, right? It's considered a bolt on. It's not in the software. And then you got Android 15 with Gemini in it. It's centered and built around Gemini. Is a very, very two different, design software. When it comes down to it, AI is built in. It's built around, like Android's built around Gemini. So everything is pretty much like Gemini dependent. I know this because I test drove Gemini Advanced when Google gave me 2 months free of the Google One subscription with Gemini Advanced. It was like $20 a month for that plan. I jumped off of it because I really didn't use a lot of the Gemini Advanced features. The only cool thing was having Gemini Live. Yeah, Gemini Live, which is pretty much the same as a Google Assistant, except that it's a bit more smarter and it's a bit more natural flowing conversation. So like, never mind asking it basic questions like, what color is the sky? Why is the roof white? Like, but if you actually like talk to it like a person, it does give you that natural conversation. I did that. Yes, I felt stupid for the 5 minutes I did it because I'm talking to nobody in my house. I was talking to Gemini on my phone, but the conversation was very fucking natural. It was almost as if I was talking to a real person in my room. And yeah, that's the scary thing about AI, which we'll probably do for another live stream somewhere down the road this year. But Google Assistant really doesn't have that type of natural flow for conversations. Everything really of what Google Assistant is doing is literally waiting for a question so that in that way it can provide an answer. But it is in no way designed or set to perform where it's human-like. Gemini is, and that's the difference between them. Oh, no problem, man. Hey, thank you for signing up. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to like, honestly, for me, when it comes to the Helium promo that I'm offering right there, look, seriously, if I got like 2,000 people to sign up in 1 month, that's amazing. I'll probably like, get a Pixel 9 and then do a raffle giveaway on the channel. That's really hard to do. Trust me, it's not as easy as you think. Some people don't want to try Helium. Some people don't need another service provider. Some don't want to sign up. So, but I would love to hit 2,000 signups in 1 month. That would be so cool. But anyways, so I can see the big jump between Android 14 and Android 15, but I don't see it as a big enough reason to put it in the Pixel 9 and then have so much things go wrong from a half-baked software to ruin the reputation of the Pixel 9. The Pixel 9 is Google's biggest release, okay? Regardless of what people think about it, if they think that it looks like Bender from freaking Futurama, I don't care. The Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, 9 Pro Fold is the biggest launch for the Google Pixel lineup ever since its initial launch back in 2015, 2016. I want to say 2016. So it is. It's the first time that a lot of people have taken them seriously. It's the first time that they looked at the hardware and taken the hardware seriously. There's a lot going for it. I've seen the potential of Google Pixels before they even did the Pixel 9 launch, and I'm happy to say that, I was right. For those people who made fun of me because I supported Pixels or, whatever, or was trying to convince me for 1,001 reasons why iPhones were better. And now I look at some of them that had said that shit to me, and I'm watching them on social media talking about the Pixel 9 being dope and being this and being that, and they're glad they switched over. And I'm like, yeah, say they're a joke now. But yeah, and so the same thing's happening with the iPhones. Like, I'm seeing people get upset because the iPhone 16 comes with iOS 18.0, which 18.0 doesn't have Apple Intelligence in it. I have iOS 18.0. Well, I still have beta on my iPhone 12. I haven't gotten the full iOS 18. That's taking its time to get to get to me. I know. I've already seen that it's out for delivery, so I'm watching for the mail person to show up. It says delivery by 6 p.m., so we'll see. Usually the mail person comes by here between now and an hour from now. They usually come, but I think Thursdays and Fridays they come later because there's more mail to be delivered on those days. And we're getting into the holidays too, so then Sundays are going to become delivery days for USPS. So, but I mean, it'll be here today. I got my eye out for it. So, like I told everyone earlier in the beginning of the podcast, if it arrives while I'm podcasting, I'm going to grab the box and I'm going to do a live unboxing. If it doesn't get here by the time that I leave the live stream, I will record a video and unbox it and upload it to the channel. I know that you sent some cases in there. I just don't know what else you sent. And so, like, I'm just, the suspense. Leave the suspense and just let me be surprised with what you stuck in there. But anyways, so iOS 18 doesn't have Apple Intelligence. People are kind of a little frustrated. Maybe Apple Intelligence is not ready. Okay, cool. I feel like that, it's in the same context. Like, everything is moving more towards AI. Like, AI is being driven into a lot of things. Like, T-Mobile wants to implement AI in their own way. Mobile X uses AI to determine how much data you would use in 30 days by it monitoring your normal habits. You got AI in, Google and Gemini. You got AI in Apple. You got AI in Samsung Galaxy devices. You got AI in, Bank of America. There's like AI is being implemented into a lot of things. Those who took the Terminator movie seriously probably are living in a bomb shelter right now of how much AI is being fed out there, that it's got people in fear. And like I said, like, I will do a different live stream completely focused on the dangers of artificial intelligence and what do we really need to be afraid of, and kind of debunking, is it, was Terminator a survival manual for how we're supposed to survive now? I'm sure people not, but it's not far off from what AI can do given the circumstances and the person behind building it, and just, if they're stupid or not, we'll see. But So that is a big jump, and that's why I feel like that this year, with the launch of the new devices, they didn't get like the full features of the new software in them from jump because they're not ready. When you're making a big change up like this, you got to make sure that all aspects are working, because the one thing you don't want to do is to put out something that you advertise is supposed to work a certain way and then it doesn't. It can seriously damage the reputation of that company. I mean, how many years on the fence were people so skeptical about Google Pixel because it said it was going to do things with the Pixel 2 XL, the Pixel 3 XL, and it really didn't deliver on those things. So everyone took Google Pixel for a joke for years to come after. Even when the Pixel 4 and 4 XL launched with Motion Sense, everyone took Motion Sense as a damn joke when it's actually a really cool fucking piece of technology, and that we were actually lucky that Google blessed us with being able to just try out a sample of it by sticking it in the Pixel 4 and using Motion Sense with it. Yes, it didn't make sense that they stuck in a weak battery when it came down to it. Obviously, just imagine if the Pixel 4 launched with a 5,500 milliamp hour battery and the Pixel 4 XL launched with a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, it would be able to basically harness the power of Motion Sense and basically have the phone drain normally with that turned on. You'd be able to use your own hand gestures for the Soli radar chip to recognize your hand motions to implement that motion and that command on the software. I mean, that was so cool that we were able to get it. Yes, you're on iOS 18, but you're not on iOS 18.1, which has Apple Intelligence. iOS 18.0 does not have Apple Intelligence. I think that's the big confusion. Is like everyone was like, iOS 18 is going to have Apple Intelligence. 18.1 will have Apple Intelligence. 18.0 doesn't have it. The other thing about it too that kind of like hurts Apple's reputation is the fact that, and I don't know if it's because, you know, Apple's been sued by the EU and they've been sued by, you know, the Department of Justice, that somewhere along the line, Apple's testicles were cut off and stuck in somebody else's bag. See, back then, even though I wasn't a big supporter of Apple, didn't really care to use their products, the one thing that I admired and respected of Apple was that if they wanted to implement something, there was no way that carriers can get away with stuff. Like Apple would be like, no, you got to do it our way. We're doing it our way. You have to do it this way. This is how we want you to do it. This is how the iPhone's meant to be used. And they would like have that stamp and that, you know, that firmness to them. Now they don't even have that. Is 18.1, is that beta? I think it is. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen it in the beta in the beta list for me to beta test it. I haven't seen it. But then again, I have an iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 is not compatible with on-device AI. So I think it's like the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are compatible for the on-device AI, which I think those devices get the beta 18.1 to be able to test Apple Intelligence. Because there's two forms of Apple Intelligence. There is the cloud version, and then there's the on-device version. I went from the S10 to the S24 Ultra, and the AI stuff is crazy. So much to learn. Yeah, it is. There's a learning curve to it, but you know it's easy to pick up on. There's just a lot of AI fed into a lot of things. So, but anyways, but yeah, you know, with the whole thing with Apple and RCS is where I'm going with this. Because they were saying that RCS was going to launch. And I know some people are like, Apple doesn't care about RCS. That's why they're not putting. No, Apple does care about RCS. Obviously, they do care about it because it's their neck that's on the line. It's the reason that, yes, if they were strong arm forced into supporting RCS, who cares? The fact is that they're doing it. And even though, you know, iOS 18 fully launched already, because it was considered fully launched on September 16th. However, there's still people that still haven't gotten the update yet. And don't worry, you'll get it. Just give it time. It'll roll out. But the thing is that RCS was not something that iOS 18 was going to control. The carriers are in control of this. They have to be able to make it where, you know, for iOS devices that RCS is capable on those devices, which is why, like, say if I put my Metro by T-Mobile SIM in my iPhone 12, RCS works on that. If I put my Helium mobile SIM in my iPhone 12, RCS doesn't work on it. Yes, they both operate on the T-Mobile network, but you know, I appreciate that you found you found my channel from my Moto G Stylus video. Awesome. I'm glad to have you here. By the way, if you're looking for a new carrier, you want to save, if you're into crypto, Helium Mobile, use the promo code that I got there. That'll get you 1 month free to try them out. Anyways, so the same thing, like Mobile X, my Mobile X SIM, when I put it on my iPhone 12, the RCS toggle appears and I can toggle it to turn it on, but RCS isn't in fact working. And so I don't know if it's like on Mobile X's end. I think it is. And I think that they're gearing up to allow the iPhones to be supported with RCS messaging through them, even though they operate on the Verizon network. Because Visible, if I put a Visible SIM in my iPhone 12, RCS is working. So Visible has RCS turned on. Verizon has RCS turned on. T-Mobile and AT&T have RCS turned on. Boost Mobile, aka Boost Infinite, doesn't have RCS turned on. Helium doesn't have it turned on. Q-Link doesn't have it turned on. I think Cricket does. I could be wrong. A friend of mine that has Cricket and an iPhone says they have RCS turned on. So, but a lot of them didn't. And like back in the day, Apple used to be the type that would tell companies like, no, get RCS turned on now. They're not like that. I think it's because of the amount of lawsuits that Apple has had and lost and the changes they were forced to make, changing to USB Type-C away from the Lightning port that they were used to doing. Allowing certain things in the European Union to happen on iPhones that they wouldn't have allowed before. Just a lot of things really kind of impacted Apple. And so I think that nowadays they're not really forcing it because now iOS 18 is available and there are people that have RCS and can message other Android users and be able to have the rich communication services between them. And there are people who are on different carriers that don't have it turned on. So now it's almost like as if Apple's really feeling its first defragmentation ever. Where it's like, if you get an iPhone on Visible, you're good for RCS. But if you get it on Helium, they're not ready yet with RCS. So you won't have RCS messaging. You'll have iMessage from between iPhone and iPhone users, but between you and Android, you'll be on the archaic SMS. And so it's a very big, cluster fudge of just, things that's like, it's not looking so good. So this year is like the year of like late software updates and late features added. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because if you see that I'm here and I'm okay with that, obviously means that I would rather have a company do it right the first time than to give it to me early now and then it just be a whole cluster fudge of a mess, right? Better to measure 10 times and cut once than to measure once and cut 10 times. So I'm okay with it. And I think a lot of people should just be patient and just wait for these things to come out. But of course, you guys know what to do. You guys can leave your comments, your comments, your thoughts, your emotional outbursts. Comment below. Switching tracks away from that, the last thing I kind of wanted to discuss with you guys. So this pertains to scam calls that I've gotten in the last 2 months. And I want to share this. I think some of you guys may have gotten these same type of calls or may not have. You may have gotten text messages, may not have. But scammers are on a new, different, like a whole different thing. Because what they're doing now is instead of using the IRS or using, the Amazon or the Microsoft support, they're now doing this thing where they're coming at you as if you applied for a job with them. I know this because they recently called my wife in the last 5 days from like different places. And like, it's funny because of the type of job that they're offering, which I know that this is what kind of gives them away. But so they called my wife. She had her Google Assistant answer the call on her Pixel. And they actually talked to the assistant. So we were getting a readout of what they were telling the assistant as to why they were calling. And they were like, yeah, we're calling about a job offer. And then we would make assistant ask, okay, can you please tell us more of what this is about? And they would say, oh, it's a job offer. Okay. So when I took one of the calls, they were like, telling like, oh yeah, we're responding to an application that we got for a job offer. So I'm like, okay, what's the job? They're like, oh yeah, we're offering an offer for a position as a customer service representative for tech solutions. And I'm like, my wife is not a techie and doesn't apply for jobs that have to do within the tech industry. So I'm like, okay, like, well, can you tell us the name of the applicant? And the person was sharp. Got to give it to that person. He was sharp. He was just like, I cannot disclose that information over an open call unless verified. I'm like, okay, how do you verify the person? From that question, they decided to hang up. And then they sent a text message like 5 minutes later saying the same job offer. And they had like a hyperlink, click this bit.ly link to review your application and make any updates or any changes to it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. You just sent a link that's supposed to let someone log in to change information on their application, but you couldn't tell the person's information over the call to me without verifying. And you couldn't verify even when I was just like, so they're using the fact that a lot of places around the world knows the struggles that the United States is going into right now. Okay, it's no secret. Inflation is high. Food costs a lot. Rent has gone up like 26%. Food has gone up like 26 or 36%. Buying a new vehicle has gone up 36% than what we were used to, right? Like everything is costing a lot more. People are opting to get second jobs. There is a high race for jobs in the United States now. And these places know that. So they know that we already know that IRS could be a scam. And well, IRS is definitely going to be a scam. The IRS is never really going to call you. They'll send you a letter in the mail. They'll have you go to a certain place to, like the Social Security office or whatever, to talk to somebody in person. But the IRS will never call you and speak to you over the phone. So the scammers, around the world that do this for a living, that work for these call centers that scam people out of their money, they know that we pretty much are well aware that if it's IRS, Microsoft support, Amazon support, it's a 50-50 chance you're talking to somebody. Well, it's a 100% chance you're talking to someone fake if they say IRS. If they say Microsoft support, Amazon support, 50-50 chance. So now they've created new tactic methods, and that is job offers. Because some people put in an application for a job and they forget who they applied with. And if it remotely sounds very similar to them, they will give out message over their phones. There are people who have already done that. They've, the person told them they were in response to a job offer. The person's like, I don't remember applying for you. They make up some weird, random, scary, like bullshit thing. Like, oh, well, this application's from like 4.5 months ago, I believe, is when you put it in. And the person's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I may have applied. Guess I'm still interested in the job. And then they go from there. Oh, we're going to do an interview right now then over the phone before we have you come into the office and do the final interview. Is that okay? And then you're like, yeah, because other companies actually do that. They do over the phone interviews first before setting up a physical in-person interview. And in that interview, they're going to confirm, like, can you confirm your birth date for me? And then you're going on thinking you're about to score a pretty good job, especially when they tell you, like, the hourly rate is $35 an hour. Like, come on, who's going to pass up $35 an hour? And so now you're giving them, your name, you're confirming your first and last name, and they'll ask you things like, is there a middle initial that we need to know? And you're like, no, I have the middle initial. Okay, date of birth, you give them your date of birth, social security number, you verify your whole social security number. And then they go on, they ask you all the normal questions you would hear, like, oh, how'd you hear about us? Or when you say you don't remember putting in an application with us, what makes you think that you're qualified for this? How many years experience have you had this? And they're even phishing too. They want you, like, they'll be like, tell us a time when, you had to put personal feelings aside to be able to do your job. And, someone like me, if I was, blind to the fact that I was being scammed, would tell them about when I still continue to work, even though learning the passing of my mother. And they may even like say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that your mother passed. And they get you to talk. You start talking. Now you're giving out vital information. So if they were to try and like verify your identity through some sort of scamming service, well, then they're literally going to have that. And what year did your mom pass? You might have blurted it out and said that, your mother passed in 2023. And it's like, they'll check the year 2023. They're, what I'm saying? They're phishing information. They're phishing stuff to basically be able to identify themselves as you and get a hold of your information. Stolen identity now and used for various different things. So these are the things that people have to be worried about. You have to be worried about who you take calls from. They're now Scammers are now using job interviews over the phone as ways of stealing identity. So be careful. If you don't remember that you applied for a job, you can always tell them like, oh yeah, I don't remember applying, but I'm busy right now. I can get in touch with you guys later. Give me a number and I'll give you guys a call back. And then go through your emails. Because anytime that you apply for a company, when you set an application in, you get a confirmation that the company received your application. So all you got to do is just type in the name of the company in the search box of your Gmail or whatever email service you use, and it's going to pull up all the emails related to those words. And if you've never, applied for USA Tech Solutions and there's no email with that, then the person that called you from that company is not legit. Even if they are a legit company, it's better to be safe and reject them because of, a slight cues are giving you bad signals about them, and to think that they're scamming and have them prove that they're not scammers. Better to go that way than to be like, oh, I'm just being paranoid. Maybe society is going to think I'm racist or something. So I'll just go ahead and give in because I don't want to offend anybody. And then you just gave all your information to somebody that's out there in Calcutta or, in any other place around the world. Be careful of those things. Anyways, I got a couple of more minutes here, but I think someone came by my front door. So let me check real quick because I don't want anyone hijacking the package that BTech sent. So ask any tech question that you guys want to right now. When I get back to my desk, I'll take a look at them and I'll pick some to answer before ending the podcast. So just give me a few moments. All right. Nope. Somebody was hanging those little presidential flyers on my door. I took that and threw it in the trash. I don't like political shit hung up in front of my place. People can battle that shit out on their own time. Yeah, no. Yeah, VTech has been at this for what year did you start again, Mike? I know he's been around for a long time. I've been following his channel for a long time. Oh, the weather is good. Can you believe that it's gotten cool enough where I can wear a hoodie now again? If you guys haven't learned anything about me, my favorite attire to wear is hoodies. Except when I move to the city or it gets to like 116 degrees in the summer, I can't rock a hoodie. But when it gets to that weather and it's time to bust it out. Yeah, Grogu from Star Wars. I got a bunch of hoodies. Like my wife's like, yeah, I have too many. So 2012. So a year after I started. This channel started in 2011, so 2012 is when, well, it started at the end of 2011 in Texas. So Texas, not yet, still warm. Can't be that bad though. Like, so we're not cold here in Phoenix. Okay, don't get me wrong. When I go outside, it's like 95 degrees. Trust me, I can wear a hoodie at 95 degrees. I can't wear a hoodie at 115. Still warm here in Delaware. It's 83 right now. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, 83 is still good. I can wear a hoodie in 83 degree weather and be just fine. Like I won't be like I'm dying. So it's so comfortable to wear a hoodie in those weathers. I just like it when it's like freezing cold. Like my perfect day would be when the temperature is like 23 degrees outside. Maybe like the wind is blowing like maybe like 3 miles an hour. Then that's like my perfect day. Sun out, nice and cold. You know, that'd be like perfect weather for me. What is your guys' perfect weather? 83 in Washington is a beach day. What part of Washington? Like Bremerton? I lived up in Washington State for a little bit of time. I lived in Enumclaw, Washington for like 6 months. I lived in Buckley, Washington for a year. Right now in Texas is 100 degrees. What parts of Texas? I lived in Northeast Texas for a little while. So I lived in Longview, Texas for a little while and White Oak. Greetings from the interior.
Yo, wow, you've been on for an hour already? What the heck?
Yeah. It's about 3 minutes till an hour.
Sounds good. Yeah, I got to be at work in probably like about a little less than an hour, but I can be on here for about 20 to 25 minutes. So
rushing it and cutting it close. Yeah, dude. I'm like,
nah.
I'm at the point of anxiety. I'm like watching outside my window, and I'm waiting to see if like the mail person passes by, so I can run to the door.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll give you kind of like a spoiler. Not really a spoiler, but I'll let you know that.
No, don't tell me nothing what's in the box. Don't tell me what's in the box.
At least you know what 2 of the items are in there already, technically.
Yeah. I want to be surprised for the other ones, though.
But I saw in your last Moto G Stylus video that you already bought a case for it, so I'm like, oh, he already got a case.
I didn't buy a case. It came with it from the person I bought it from.
Oh, well, it's kind of ugly anyway, so.
Yeah. I was like, that's why I put a pop socket on that one, because I don't like putting pop sockets on cases that I think are really nice, because I want the case to actually show. So that black one, I just stuck a pop socket on it. So if I ever want to use it with a pop socket playing Pokemon Go, which is so funny, dude, because I'm so bougie with it. I'll take the stylus out and use it to throw a Pokeball. It's a good phone, man. It really is. Grand Prairie, Texas.
Grand Prairie, Texas.
That sounds so familiar.
I think that's like a little outside of Houston, I think. Like south of Houston.
Yeah, let us know if you're south of Houston.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I go to Houston to see my my family, because they live a little northwest out of Houston, that I would remember seeing Grand Prairie like exit signs going out there. So it's kind of like, you know, between Victoria and like South Houston, I think, before you hit like there's so many like little cities like outside of Houston, basically. So. But
Speaking of Victoria, Texas, I was watching a TikTok this morning where like this guy was going to people who claim to be wrestling fans, and like he'll ask them like this off the wall question, and like 7 people got it wrong, and I don't know how they got it wrong. I can see why though, but I just don't get it. So like they're wrestling fans from the Attitude Era, and he's like, okay, he's like, when Stone Cold comes out, what city did he announce him from? And everyone's like, Austin, Texas, Texas. I'm like, no, you idiots. Victoria, Texas.
Yeah, I think probably they get Austin because Austin is in his name, so they assume that he's from Austin, Texas. But yeah, that's a big no.
What do you mean? Can you join a chat one day? You mean like jump in on the live stream? Yeah, anyone can jump in. If you guys want, I'll give you guys a link to come on. I don't mind.
Nguyen is a fellow Texan, by the way, so shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to know where Grand Prairie is. I'm going to Google map that right now.
Google map Grand Prairie, Texas.
Grand Prairie, Texas.
If he ain't that far from you, you can do a meet and greet.
Oh, it's closer to Dallas. Damn, hold on, let's see.
Oh snap!
Let me see. Hold on, let's see. Grand Prairie. Okay, where the hell is Grand Prairie? Direction. So let's go directions from where I live. Oh yeah, it's outside of Dallas. My bad. It's way.
Dude, I could actually do a meet and greet with Neon Dang if I ever went to when I moved to Oklahoma, because going from where I'm moving to in Oklahoma to Dallas is only a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than Houston and of course San Antonio. For me, like where I live, it would be about almost an 8-hour drive with no stops. Yeah, so people wonder how big Texas is. It's like the drive from where I lived anywhere is basically like the equivalent to traveling like three or four small states in the U.S. Like I could literally drive from like Louisiana to Florida in probably the same amount of time that it would take for me to drive from like where I live to Dallas.
Well, so I mean, from East Texas to Central Florida, it took me with stopping for gas. It took me, I think I would say,
probably like a 10-hour drive.
No, like 16 hours.
Oh yeah, 16. Yeah.
Yeah, where I went to was where is it? It was LaBelle, Florida, which is a little small doohickey town.
Yeah.
But it was right off the Caloosahatchee, which was funny because like when I went to go see people out there, in-laws, they were like, they want to go see gators, so they would take raw chicken out there, like dunk it in the water. I'm like, you guys are trying to freaking bring gators up, like y'all stupid. And then we went fishing, and that's the first time I've ever seen a garfish. And I was like, what gator decided to get a fish pregnant and create this abomination? Because it's like, it's got a gator snout with teeth and everything, but it's a fish.
For sure.
Hello from El Paso, Texas. Eric, you're not that far from me, technically. If I was to drive, I can drive to El Paso.
And El Paso is another like 8 hour, maybe longer than 8 hours for me. That's like the western point of Texas over there. So let's see. I'm going to just put El Paso now. Yeah, it's a border town. Like I live in a border town, but El Paso, oh yeah, hell no.
Hell no.
Okay, so if I take the fastest route, it would take me about 11.5 hours.
Fuck, man, you're way down there.
But if I cut through Mexico, it would probably be a little bit, of a shorter drive. If I fly, it's about it's almost a 4-hour flight. Jesus,
dude, that's like more than half the distance from LA to Hawaii.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. No, hold on. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong on the flight. Because like when I flew to Vegas, that was like almost a 4-hour flight, and that's
packed El Paso.
Yeah, so I don't know why it's telling me a 3 hour and 55-minute flight. That's kind of freaking weird. Interesting though.
Where is it taking you? Is it taking you on a scenic tour?
I don't know, dude. But I'm clicking the plane option, and it says 3 hours and 55 minutes on a flight. That can't be right.
Probably wants you to go around, like, avoiding anywhere. Oh no, because El Paso will be way before Roswell. If you were to take a 3 hour 55-minute flight, you're flying around into Roswell down. Oh man, Maps is just messing up today.
Yeah, well, I wish I would be able to visit Arizona before you left, but I guess maybe we'll have to visit Oklahoma instead.
Well, I mean,
sooner.
When I moved to Oklahoma, I have to travel back and forth between there and here. So I don't know if you ever want to go on a road trip, then like we can meet halfway down into Texas and then cut up through El Paso, through Tucson, and then up into Phoenix.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see. I mean, I know there's a train that goes from San Antonio to westward, so I want to kind of look into that one day. Just instead of freaking driving, just take a freaking train and just fucking go.
Yeah, why not? What we'll do is we'll put a bomb threat. No, I can't say that. Can't say that. No, but you do. Do that to CV Tech's house to force him out of his house and get him down here.
Canceled over here. Oh yeah, that would be a big detour. He's like where in the East Coast.
Oh yeah, dude. He's like what, North Carolina or South Carolina?
It'd be like, let's pick up Mill Hustles on the way.
Yeah, we'll get Mill Hustles out there. We'll drag him by his testicles behind the car. Pull him out. get him out there, get CV Tech out there, and then I don't know, I'll just do a guys trip. One day we should just do that before I'm dead, before I
Yeah,
die.
no, same.
Do a camping.
I want to meet Latrell before he turns 30. Okay.
Put his ass in a fucking smart package and
If
ship
we
his
could all
ass
do like
out.
CES one year, man, just like, you know, if I ever win the lottery, I'll pay for y'all to go to Vegas.
It's been the plan. Like
Right.
I don't like Carlos was like, yeah, dude, we get everyone out here. I'm like, you gotta tell everybody. So everyone can make the plans to meet up. Like everyone can clear that week of CES. Because I told Carlos, like, I don't need to go into CES. I'll cruise the Vegas Strip. I don't care. There's like, but get everybody together for like 1 week just to have everybody hang out would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that would be fun. We'll fly over the Grand Canyon. We'll take a helicopter ride, and we'll all test out our Pixel devices.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Over the Grand Canyon, yeah. You know, and you know what? Like if Latrell came, I swear to God, I'll get him a rental car so he can drive around. No problems. They got Toyota Corollas everywhere. I can get him a nice one that he can just use around Vegas. Knowing him, he'll like Latrell always gets like. He takes it in good fun. I like him. He's got a sense of humor. So when I do my Corolla posts on his stuff on X, he's a good sport about it. But I really want to like vlog capturing like his entire expression if I rented him a car for him to use and it was a Corolla. Just to see his face.
Hey, but it's got to be like a GR Corolla. No basic mom and pop shit. Okay, get him one that's stick.
I'm going old school, not even for performance. So it wouldn't be the AE86 or any of those. I would literally get him like a 1991 box 4-door Corolla.
You might as well just get him a Tercel or something like that.
Hey, I've done some amazing things with Tercels. So
hey, speaking of Latrell, man, he's been kind of MIA. You know, I don't really see him posting too much on X or social media anymore, man. But I think he's got a girlfriend now.
That'll do that to you.
I mean, I still see him post here and there, but it's like his posts are like less frequent on my timeline now, I guess. Or maybe he is. Maybe I'm just not seeing him. Maybe it's just not popping up for me.
Hey, if Latrell is about to extend his family bigger, he can always go on the tech of like how ultrasound machine works. Oh man, I'm just like waiting to see when y'all have kids. Is like to me, I'm just
it'll be a while for me, boss. Honestly.
Everyone who says that and then end up jinxing themselves. So what, 6 months from now?
So he's got 2 accounts. His main account has 1.4. Okay, so he has been posting, but like he posted 12 hours ago. You know him, he likes to post in the middle of the night when he's like out doing Uber Eats and stuff like that. And then the last post prior to that was he updated his phone to iOS 18, which I did already. So like I don't know. It's different, but it's not too crazy.
What carrier are you using here on your iPhone?
Visible.
Oh, so you got RCS turned on then?
I don't know. How do I do that? Maybe I have to do a video on that.
Go to settings, and then when you're in settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom where you see apps. Open that up.
Okay, apps, and then go to Messenger or what?
Yeah, go to messages, like the message app.
Wow, now they alphabetize everything. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Messenger.
Scroll down until you see where it says like it has like those little toggles for messages, and above it should say RCS.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have MMS enabled, but yeah, RCS is technically already on.
Okay, so you can try texting one of your Android phones that has RCS.
Yeah.
Testing it. It should. If it doesn't work or if it sends as a regular text message, toggle off RCS, reboot the phone, and then go back and toggle it back on. That fixes it.
Yeah. Let me try it really quick.
Unfortunately, Helium Mobile doesn't have RCS enabled for iOS 18 yet, so it still sends it as SMS.
Oh, well, it doesn't come out green anymore. It just comes out kind of blackish now. So now instead of green, we get like a dark color, which I don't... I mean, why doesn't iOS just give you the option to change the fucking color inside the settings?
That would be a very useful...
It's so basic.
They could have done that too, because now that you can freaking like tint the icons on the home screen of iOS, they should have made it where you can customize the color options of the chat bubble for your contacts. Mm-hmm. That would have been dope. Missed opportunity by Apple, but maybe they'll do it on iOS 19.
Yeah, well, I don't really see too much of a difference. Obviously, I know RCS it's different, obviously, with like file sizes and videos and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so you'll be able to like send Android videos to your iPhone and it'll come in better quality, and even vice versa. You can send iPhone videos, which are high quality, over to an Android device, and it'll maintain its integrity. That's a good part. And you can do the little emoji stuff, like long pressing and then putting ha ha ha. They'll see it on their thing.
So I can, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I did not know that. So, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
we can react to people now.
Yeah. Well, not me yet. My phone, fucking Helium needs to turn on RCS. Boost still doesn't know. I've chatted with Boost reps. They don't know when they're gonna have RCS turned on for iOS users. I'm like, you guys are slacking. They'll probably be one of the last carriers to do it. I'm pretty sure. By the time every carrier has it opened up for iOS, Boost Mobile will be the last ones to do it because they're so far behind on everything.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, it's all good. Dang, I just Googled how long it would take me if I drove from Phoenix or from where I live to Phoenix. It says 17 hours. It's only 1,200 miles, 1,222 miles.
Jesus, man, that's like 200 miles shy of the distance of me driving from here to my dad's house, because my dad's house is like crazy. A 14-hour drive.
Yeah, it says 17 for me. That's if I take I-10 West, obviously, and that's like with no freaking stops. I'm just gonna have to take a bottle and a bag, I guess.
Yeah, but like I'm halfway. I'm like on how much I plan to have in order to travel to San Antonio. I'm halfway there with the funds put away. Like I haven't touched it. So like there's like a savings that my wife and I dump money into, and we don't touch it for anything. And that's our trip to San Antonio because the kids want to go to like right there by the Alamo in that court the court town area. There's a place that's like a haunted house, the Ripley's Haunted House.
Oh yeah,
they want to go. They want to go to it because I've been inside of it. It's not that bad of a
I think I went as a kid. I think I don't remember too much about it, but it's like literally like right across from like you said, the Alamo. So
I threw up inside of it. That one room you go into, like it's like a tunnel that has lights that's spinning around in the tunnel, and you have this metal bridge.
Yeah, you got motion sickness.
Yeah, because like they made the bridge move slightly, but it makes you think that it's moving to like sideways, and so I barfed all over the light.
Feel bad for the people that work there, I guess.
Actually, for those watching, I think in a week or two, I'm going to the 13th floor, which is a haunted house here in Arizona, and I'm gonna actually go live on YouTube when I go into the haunted house. It's supposed to be like the best haunted house in the US. I don't know. I've never been in it. I just know they have zombie tag. Like you can either go in a haunted house or you wait in the other line and you go to the zombie laser tag where they put you in this giant arena that's set up like the zombie apocalypse, and you got laser tag guns and you gotta like gun down the zombies and escape. I don't know which one I'm gonna do.
Sheesh. Gun them down. Gun them down.
Shit. I don't know. The zombie tag one doesn't seem so scary, so I'll probably go into the haunted house one because they say the costumes and everything and like the display is like so fucking good that like people get terrified coming out. I don't know. I'm just gonna record it on a live stream going in and show you guys everything if they let me. If they're like no cameras, probably have to get like a GoPro and like sync it to my phone.
Oh my god, live stream it with the GoPro, just mount it to your chest.
Yeah, or I can get Ray-Bans. The Ray-Bans with just walk around. It's like now these are prescription glasses.
That's true. I forget that they sell glasses that you can kind of technically record video.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That'd be fun. I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat if you guys want to see the haunted house here, the 13th floor. So, are there any good ones in your area?
I mean, I think there's a couple, but I don't really do haunted houses during the spooky season. Just never something that interested me, honestly. But I know they do a few that pop up like in the downtown area where I live, and even in like in the outer cities or the border towns where I live, where it's like just depends where you go. But each city usually has like a haunted house or something that you can go to.
Have I seen Alexa glasses? No, I haven't actually. Maybe that's something I should look into. Have you seen the Alexa glasses?
No, sir, I have not.
Wow. So I know like there was an influencer that lives here in Phoenix, and she's an influencer on Snapchat. She got kicked out of the 13th floor haunted house because she brought her Snapchat drone. Makes sense. You don't want to fly a drone inside there, so they kicked her out. I was like, why would you even though the drone is like the size of like that big? I mean, it can still get caught in like all the freaking fabrics and stuff they put inside, and it's like, I don't know. Influencers and their mentality is just so weird nowadays. Anyways, so dude, how's the Think phone?
I mean, I enjoy using it. The only thing that kind of kills it for me, I don't know why. I just don't. I feel like it doesn't take that good of video, man. Like I feel like when I'm trying to film my YouTube videos, that like it either like the like even with decent lighting, I feel like the camera sensor. I don't know if it's like I don't know what's going on with it exactly, but like it doesn't tend to focus like the way I want it to. And then what else? How do you say, like it's the crop is like crazy like bad, you know what I mean? Like, you know how like a phone when you switch over from photo to video, the crop is like so much different than if I were to just, you know, take a picture or whatever. It does take 8K video, which I think I did a video about, but I don't know. I think the video just could be better. I don't know if it's just because they're just not updating the camera app on it or whatever, but like I feel like the Motorola G Stylus takes better videos. Like a lot of the videos that you've been seeing on my channel that I have been taking, they were taken on the Motorola G Stylus instead of the Think phone, which I was wanting to use the Think phone as like a backup for video, but I'm just not using it for video. So the overall performance is amazing. Like it's like literally you can double it as a Chromebook basically.
Try Blackmagic camera app. See, because like with the Blackmagic camera app, when you're recording video, it allows you to mess around with the settings, like as if you have like pro mode. So you can adjust the ISOs, the white balance, the shadows in a video. So try doing that and see if that helps. And if it does, figure out your configurations of how you want the video to look, and then shoot with the Blackmagic camera app. It's free.
Blackmagic camera app. All right. Camera. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. Blackmagic camera app. Let's see. Interesting.
It's like a blue camera icon. Looks like an Instagram icon, but it's blue.
I am not seeing it. Hold on, Blackmagic. I'm just gonna put Blackmagic app. Let's see if that pops out because I put Blackmagic camera app. Oh, okay, yeah, Blackmagic camera. There you go. There it is. All right, I'll have to take a look at it later, I guess. But anyways, I will see you guys because I actually got to get going. I got to get dressed and take off already in a few minutes. So thanks for having me for this mini stream. I'll probably listen to you on the way to work, so I'll be listening in if you're still going to be live.
I'm jumping off right now, man. So I'm calling it a day for everyone that's watching.
No.
Thanks for watching. By the way, FYI, dude, Wednesdays is always a bad day for me to join the live because I'm always busy on those days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I hit you up yesterday because it was my day off. And I was like, okay, he's probably busy, working or whatever. So no, it's all good, man. So Wednesday, not a good day.
Also answer this question though. I'll stay live for another 10 minutes and then I'll jump off. But
all right, well, I got to jump. So we'll see you guys. Everyone have a good afternoon.
Yeah, take it easy. Safe. Travel safe to work.
Yeah, thanks, boss. We'll see you later.
All right. What happened to CV Tech? CV Tech he's still around. If you guys go to his channel, he posted a message for all of you. He acknowledges that he hasn't been uploading content as much. CV Tech is a very special case. The guy really kind of keeps to himself. He's very introverted. He's probably more introverted than I am. And but he also goes through something pretty tough. I'm probably reaching here, so if he gets pissed off at me for saying this, oh well. But if you guys don't know, RJ does kind of suffer from depression. So certain things that you think wouldn't trigger somebody affects him and affects what he does. So, just be patient with him, show your support, go to his channel, read his message to you guys, comment on it to let him know that you guys read it, and if you guys want to give him any like uplifting, comment or something to, really just kind of like, get him feeling good about himself. I would ask you guys to do that. RJ is a good friend. I like him as a person, and, like I understand what he goes through, which is why I don't like I don't try to force him to get on my live streams. I don't try to do all those things because I understand what it's like to go through, something that's affecting you mentally. And like I want him to know that we're all here for him, but we also respect his privacy and whatever he wants. But he should know that I'm still there to watch his videos when he drops another video. He did get a Pixel 9 Pro XL, so he is going to be working on an unboxing for that phone. So if you guys are like wanting to see somebody unbox the phone, then check out CV Tech. Make sure you guys turn on the bell notifications for his channel so you don't miss that video when he drops it, because he did mention that in his message that he's got a Pixel 9 Pro XL coming and he's going to be doing an unboxing on it and some coverage on the device. So you guys should be expecting that. WWE Raw has switched from 3 hours. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I'm definitely, Raw switched from 3 hours to 2 hours. That's just the network and what they want to do for now. We'll see what Netflix does, because Netflix is letting them have free range to do things. So I know that certain things that you wouldn't see on TV is going to be happening on Raw nowadays going forward, now that they're switching over to Netflix. SmackDown has rebranded. No, you're not off topic. It's just it's the last end of the live stream, so it's open discussion. Whatever you guys feel like talking about. So you're good, Gene. You can talk about wrestling if you want to. SmackDown has been rebranded to what? Because I know that Saturday main event just started up, so they brought back Saturday main event for WWE. Raw will be on Netflix. What did they change SmackDown's name to, or are they just calling it something else, like something additionally to the SmackDown name? Because I wouldn't peg WWE for getting rid of the SmackDown name. That's it's a moniker in the WWE, because that show was basically built around The Rock. So it is The Rock show, technically. That's why they called it that. It would be awkwardly strange if they changed Friday night SmackDown to something else. You was thinking about getting the Axon M from ZTE? ZTE is pretty, they're pretty good. The reason why we don't see a lot of ZTE is because of exactly what happened with the company several years ago. One of the main lead people of ZTE is actually connected with the CCP from China. And so that's kind of like, what caused that rift. There were some deals that were done by ZTE that were, I guess, in a way illegal on a business standpoint, or at least for like foreign affairs. And so ZTE kind of put themselves in boiling water. Kind of the same as like, with Huawei. Huawei, great company. I mean, I've owned only one Huawei device, and that was the Huawei Senza on Simple Mobile. And it was a really good phone. I liked it. But then, they got pretty much banned from over here. I love the SmackDown because of the debut of USA and the logo. It's looking the same but different. Also, they just kind of like changed the logos and stuff like that, but they didn't change the name. It's still SmackDown. Boo wrestling talk now. I mean, you still can weigh in on the wrestling talk, bro. You can still chat in there with your thoughts on it. I try to save majority of the wrestling talk for the Deathlock podcast. But yeah, there are a lot of devices out there that are actually like pretty good. I mean, Samsung is already beat in its own foldable, because there's I believe it's Huawei that has a trifold smartphone that looks really, really cool. Maybe I'll do that live stream next week, Tuesday. I'll do a live stream just showing some of the smartphones that are overseas that you can order them. You can order them online and have them delivered to you, but you won't find them in the US for sale unless you get them third party used, like on eBay or something. Then you'll probably find them. But I know there's a trifold device that looks really good, and it's thin. It's way thinner than the Samsung Z Fold 6. It's right there with the OnePlus Open as far as thinness. Turn on bell notifications for the Deathlock podcast, Gene. Then you'll know when we're live. You'll definitely know when we're live by turning on notifications on the Deathlock podcast. That's how you know when we're up there and we're talking about wrestling. And if you want to come on as a guest on the panel when we do these live streams on wrestling, man, um, just always let us know, and then we'll try to make the time work where all of us can be on there together. No, my wife's letting me know I got to pick up my son today. So that's cool. I go pick up my son. I got to pick up my daughters from school. Did I watch Cobra Kai the new season yet? No, I didn't watch it yet. When these new shows come out, I don't like watching a few episodes and then having to wait for more episodes to release or whatever. I think Cobra Kai, they released all the episodes together, but I'm gonna wait a little bit before I watch it. Right now is the spooky season for me, so I'm way focused on horror movies. I'm actually going to talk about some horror movies on my second channel, IRL Tito. So if you guys are subscribed to that channel, be expecting some video. I was going to talk about The Crow, but I was just so annoyed by it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't waste your fucking money on The Crow. The remake, the one with Bill Skarsgård and that I don't want to get angry, so I'm not even gonna talk about the movie. It's not worth your money. If you really want to see it, just wait till it comes to like streaming services and watch it there. At least, you know, you're watching it on a streaming service. You're not paying money to sit in the theater just to watch a piece of shit movie like that. But yeah, I'm gonna start talking about some horror movies and stuff like that, and just kind of like giving you guys my thoughts on them. My daughter's actually going to be watching some with me. So my youngest daughter wants to do podcasts where she and I talk about these different horror movies that we watch and what we think about them. So my guest host will be my daughter. Friday the 13th. Yeah, we'll watch some of those. I mean, I know like my daughter really is a big fan of the Conjuring series and the Annabelle series. So anything that has to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren. We recently watched a movie that it kind of gave us a little chills. It's not even really a movie. It's a movie, but it's like a movie documentary. It's a docu-movie. But it's on Tubi TV, and I believe it's called Demon House. It's been out for a while now. It's not a brand new release movie, but like it gets you in the beginning because you know how like some movies have like the little warnings that pop up. This one tells you, you know, in the warnings that because of the entity that is haunting the people in that house and the people that's related to that house, that this entity can even be transmitted through electronical devices. So it means watching the docu-movie is enough to get, you know, that thing to, you know, to kind of mess with you personally. So it's like watch at your own risk. Whether they added that in there for an effect to scare people or if they really meant it. Right, because it has to do with that house, and I believe it's in Indiana. It's in Gary, Indiana. They made an actual movie about the house called The Deliverance, and it's probably one of the most haunted houses in the United States by far. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Did I see the new Deadpool Wolverine? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I loved it. I had good laughs. And it was kind of sad though, because like my kids watched it with me, and so they got into it. So then it was like they kind of went backwards with it. So they ended up. So we watched Deadpool Wolverine, and then after we saw that, they went ahead and watched Deadpool and Deadpool 2. They also watched Logan. Well, they watched X-Men Origins Wolverine, and they watched the Wolverine and then Logan to pretty much understand a lot, because they didn't understand why. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to ruin it for anyone else that didn't see it. Unless y'all saw Deadpool Wolverine. If someone hasn't seen it, let me know, and I won't say nothing else about it. I don't want to ruin it for anyone that's planning to go see it. My wife laughs at me because I always tell her, like, I'm like addicted to this drink. Green tea is like the best. Funny thing is that I buy cases of them. So my wife is like, you know, some guys, they go to work, they come home with a, you know, 12 pack or a 24 pack of beer. She's like, but you You come home with a 12 pack of green tea. Like I told her, the green tea is my beer. That is my preferred drink to just de-stress and unwind. And it's cool too, because I don't know if anyone's ever like taken one of those cans of Arizona green tea and actually stuck it in boiling water to heat it up. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Um, but like when you warm up the tea, it tastes good too hot. So you can drink it ice cold. It's delicious. You can warm it up and serve it like tea, like a hot tea, and it's a good beverage to relax to. Yeah, it's got multi-temperature functions. Yeah, but yeah, Gene, I seen that. I appreciate it. I'll throw it up there and give you a recognition shout out for the super chat. Because you always tend to do that. You don't have to do that, but you always tend to do that. So I appreciate it. See, I've been using my iPod 6th generation Nano as a smartwatch. So you have like one of those fitted bands that you put the iPod in, using it as a smartwatch. That's pretty cool, man. That's thinking outside the box. Some people tend to forget that you can use tech in so many different ways. Like I have like all these old smartphones that are set up around my house, and they're set up to be security cameras because I use the app Alfred Security Camera. And so I have like all these phones around here, so I can see all parts of inside the house when I'm gone. I can keep an eye on my dogs. Like the biggest baby of all my dogs is my German Shepherd Velvet. She's a big baby. I want to update my iPad. I'll wait till it fixes. Okay, cool. Arizona tea has high fructose corn syrup to consume at your own risk. A lot of things have non-natural things inside of it to consume at your own risk. And when it comes to trying to go with like which is it's a sad reality of what we live in, you know what I mean? Like it's easy to judge and to be like, oh, what you're eating has this, what you're eating has that. But a lot of food today is not cut 100% clean. We know this. The problem with that is when you have high bills and high stuff to pay, you gotta buy food to eat, and it's gotta be what you can afford. Sorry, I'm not a millionaire to be able to just like pick and choose exactly what I want to like shop from a place. But me, as far as like the Arizona tea, yeah, I get it. Me being type 2 diabetic is not the best thing to do, but I'm 42 years old. The way that I see it right now is that like I'm on that downhill slope now. My only goal is to make sure that my kids are set for life and that they're going to be doing good in their lifetime. And I know that, and then I can go away peacefully. That is my concern. That's all my concern is. And yes, high fructose syrup makes you fat if you don't have an active life. Okay, one of the things that I do on a daily basis is I go hiking here in Phoenix. There's a lot of good hiking trails to go, and I get my sweat on. Because my wife is going through her transformation. At this point right now, my wife has lost a total of 71 pounds, and she's still continuing. And so we still go hiking and stuff like that. So you don't live an active lifestyle and you consume all these things, and yeah, of course, it's going to affect the hell out of your body. But if you actually have an active lifestyle, then you have a better odds chance. I hope nothing happens to me health-wise too. I use Mr. Coffee iced tea maker. You can use tea packets, mix different ones, stevia, lemon, 0 calories. Yeah, you can do that. So like today, how do I put it? In order for me to have something like this, okay, a lot of carbs is cut out. So like my portion size of carbs in my food is very small. A lot of high protein. Like last night, I pretty much consumed an 8-ounce steak with, what was it? My wife made a Caesar bacon salad. That was my dinner. The kids, they're the ones that get like the macaroni and cheese. They get the, side salad, they get all that. For me, yeah, it's just mostly meat and veggies and very small amount of carbs. And, it's just so that way I can have my green tea. That's like my crutch. Because originally I was a heavy addict to soda, but like I don't drink soda anymore. That's just the way that it is. Other than that, if you guys want to know what my daily routine is, I get up in the morning. I get my son up for school. My youngest son, he's the first one that's got to go. His bus comes first. Then I take my daughters to school. They go to middle school, and then my oldest son goes to college. So once I got them all dropped off at school, my wife gets ready. She heads to work. Once she heads to work, before I go live, is basically my workout time. So I have all my free weights right here, and I get to work. Got my yoga mats, so I can do my sit-ups, my crunches, do my push-ups. I got the bars on my door for my pull-ups. And then, I'll head to the park. I'll jog for a little bit at the park. Unless my wife says we're going hiking, then I won't jog, and I'll just do like my regular exercise and then my strength training. Once I'm done with that, jump in the shower, take a quick shower, come out, set up a live stream, go live. And then in the evening time when my wife comes, she comes home, she changes. We head up to the mountain. We go hiking for about an hour, hour and a half, depending on what trail we go to. And then we stop off at the store, pick up some side ingredients for dinner, come home, make dinner. While she's making dinner, I help my son with his homework, and then we put the kids to bed, and then she and I lay in bed. We talk for a little bit, and then we go to sleep. And I do this very same thing the next day. So that is my daily routine. That's cool. Actually, I'm actually in the market to upgrade. Since I've been downloading games on Steam, that's what I do to do like my, play video games. I download them. Like right now, I don't have a lot of games. I only have Streets of Rage 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Yesterday, I just bought the Street Fighter 30th anniversary. So it comes with like the original Street Fighter from 1987 all the way up to the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And then the Mega Man Z series with the Mega Man 0, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the ZX series. So it comes with, I think, eight games total. And then, of course, I got my emulator, my PSP emulator, where I played the initial D video game on that. So I've been buying more games on Steam and everything. So I actually do need to upgrade PCs because they do have like the Marvel versus Capcom and Marvel superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter. They have all of those games on one bundle on Steam. But the current computer I have is not a gaming computer, so running those graphics, everything is like really slow and sluggish. So I do need to get like a gaming computer that can handle that, and then I can start playing those games. What do you think of Conjuring Universe new movie skipping theaters to HBO Max, like Salem's Lot? I mean, I would love to see Salem's Lot in theater. What up, Sneed? What's going on, man? But I wouldn't mind it, being skipped and going straight to HBO Max. Like I wouldn't mind watching it in the comfort of my own. So like, here's the thing: I love going to the movies for the movie effects of watching movies. But the downside to it is that these days you have people that are disrespectful, and you have people that just don't know when to shut the fuck up, or they say some shit. Like if I bring my kids to a theater, I don't want to hear somebody like cussing like a sailor really bad. Scam likely. They hung up. But yeah, I don't I would rather watch it in the comfort of my own home because the kids and I, we can get some popcorn together, we can dim the lights out in the living room, get on the couch with blankets, snacks, drinks, and watch a movie on the big TV, and I don't have to worry about anyone standing up, getting in the way of my kids. Because I'll tell you guys an interesting story that happened about 3 months ago. 3 months ago, me and dude nearly came to blows. I mean, I did hit him, but nobody called the cops. It was at a movie theater. Anyways, we were going to go watch a movie, and it wasn't a packed theater. There were so much seats everywhere. I think there was maybe like 30 people total inside there, including me and my family. And so we chose, like, we ordered our tickets online so we could choose our seating. And then when we got there, our ticket passes was on the phone. They scanned the QR code, we got our snacks, drinks, and sat down. So a couple of young adults that came in, and they're being flamboyant. They're showing off because they got dates with them, girls. I know how all that stuff goes. I was in my 20s once. Out of anywhere they could have sat, they decided to sit in the row in front of us. And they actually sat in the seats where my kids were sitting behind them. So they were kind of blocking my kids, because my kids are short. You know, I'm a short person. I'm only 5'4", right? So like my second oldest son, Xavier, he's actually taller than me. Anyways, yeah, so they were being obnoxious. They were throwing popcorn at each other like it was fun, and some of it, you know, hit my youngest daughter, and I was starting to get mad, and my wife was like holding onto my wrist because she felt me jerk forward to get up. So she was trying to hold me down. It wasn't until when she had asked them, like, hey, you know, your guys' popcorn, you know, that's hitting my kids, like, stop. The guy turned around, and the girl told my wife to mind her fucking business. The guy turned around, you know, told my wife to zip it. So that's where I lost it. Okay, so there's a few things you could do in life to me that I have the what do you call it, the patience to just kind of keep calm and try to overlook it. But you know, I say this not in a fucking braggadocious type of way, because I really do mean this. If you want to see me race your ass up and down the street, the two things you can do is disrespect my wife and disrespect my children. If you do that, I don't care if I'll lose a fist fight to you, but I'm going to take the fight to you. So, because that's like, you're disrespecting my wife and my kids. To me, that's a big no-no. It is, in my mind, it is my job to protect my kids. That also includes protecting, you know, their like their reputation, you know, they're not to be disrespected. And I don't care. And if you win the fight, just know it's not over, because I will come back. I don't stop until I get my way. And all I would ever want after I beat your ass is that for you to genuinely apologize to either my wife if you insulted her, or my kids if you insulted them. You apologize, no harm, no foul, done, go your way. I don't fight somebody because I want to hurt them really bad. But if you disrespect my wife and my kids, and like, online talk doesn't mean shit to me. People can be like, your wife's, I don't care. But if you say it to her face, that's a whole different level. Have I ever seen Twister 2 yet? No, I didn't see it, and I'm not sold on the movie. I'm probably gonna wait till it comes to streaming. Like, even what is it? Beetlejuice 2. I heard some stuff about it, so not any like spoilers, but I heard some stuff about it, so I don't want to. I'm gonna wait till it comes to streaming. I don't trust anything that says diet. I think diet is just as bad as regular green tea in my book. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like, I was laughing the other day. I went to the ATM to pull out some money because I was taking my wife out to lunch, and they had this big sign right above the cigarette case in the Walgreens, and it literally said that, you know, light cigarettes and low tar cigarettes are the same as regular cigarettes. And I was like, I'm looking at that, I'm like, whoever believed in their life that smoking light cigarettes was healthier? It's not. It's the same damn thing. It's just the flavor. Let's say take Marlboro Reds. The flavor in a Marlboro Red versus Marlboro Gold, which is the Marlboro Lights. The flavor in the lights may be lighter than the flavor in the reds, but as far as like the nicotine, tar, and all the stuff you inhale from that cigarette, it's the same. There is no difference. There's no such thing as a safe cigarette. So yeah. That's the reason why I vape. I have no intentions of quitting cigarettes technically, because that's how my mom had always told me in my life, is like, if you want to quit, you'll quit. But if you don't want to quit, you're not going to quit. So I know I didn't want to quit, but I switched over to something else that was like, had less chemicals than cigarettes. That's e-cigarettes, or you know, vaping. Light describes the flavor. Exactly. Yeah. So even if you like, same thing with diet, like they tell you, like with diet, like they're like, oh yeah, diet soda is more healthier than regular. No, it's not. It's the same thing. The only difference is that they use They use a different type of artificial sweetener in diet. They use artificial sweetener in sodas. There is no such thing as safe soda. That's why, like, I had a neighbor that was like, he buys these freaking sodas that have what the hell's it have in it? I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's a probiotic soda. And he's like, this is healthy for me because it's a probiotic soda. I'm like, there's no such thing as a healthy soda. You want good probiotics, you know, eat a yogurt. Like, you know, flavorless yogurt has good probiotics in it if you get the ones that have it in it. Or you can get like a smoothie that has probiotics in it. The Olipop sodas? No. What about zero sodas? Yeah. Zero lying in the name brand, other than the fact that it's not real sugar. Yes, it's not, because they use artificial sweetener. All sodas use artificial sweetener. So they're not lying to you when they say, you know, there's no real sugar in this soda. Right, there is no real sugar in the soda. It's artificial sweetener, which is not real soda. That's why for a while Coca-Cola had a limited sale on the actual sugarcane Coca-Cola. And even then, that was just a mix of, like, you know, sugarcane sugar and artificial sweetener. That just means it won't spike your blood sugar. LOL. It still does. I've drinking diet soda and checked my blood sugar. And it doesn't spike it dramatically, but it does elevate it. Like, if my fasting blood sugar, well, let's say, like, not fasting, but let's say, like, okay, so yeah, we'll do that. Let's say my fasting blood sugar, because normally right now it sits at 127. That's pretty high. It should be like below 90. Let's say, like, I drink like a normal Coke, and it will spike my sugar up to like 450, 457. That's pretty damn high. And with a diet soda, it spikes it to 390. So it still spikes it. I have flavorless yogurt. Flavorless yogurt is actually good, at least for me. But then again, I'm okay with certain things being bland. Like in my culture, in my Thai culture, there are some foods that's like sour, bland, or really spicy. I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you that I've done that. It has spiked it to like 390 for a Diet Coke. So whatever sweetener they use in Diet Coke. Like, you also have to factor in like where my A1C is at. My A1C, I think I dropped it down to a 9. It was at 11. I was able to drop it down to a 9. So, like, you can say this in a nutshell. My type 2 diabetes is very hard to manage, but I am getting it under control. A lot of these things that I've been doing, you know, this past year of 2024 has really, I've seen a really big, significant difference, a really big change. A lot of things have changed in my health. In earlier days, I had really bad neuropathy, pains in my leg, based on, you know, the high amounts of glucose in my blood was damaging my nerve endings in my leg, causing it to have like rapid stabbing pains all up and down my legs to my feet. That has gone. Okay, when I was able to get down from 189 pounds to where I'm at now, which is 172, like I'm floating between 169, 172, depending on, you know, when I go number 2. No, TMI, Tito, I know. But what I'm just saying is that when I got down to this point, a lot of the things that affected me from my diabetes is actually starting to dissipate. It's starting to go away. Aspartame? Okay. Well, that spikes my sugar. That's like 390 from 127. At least on that day when I checked. So, like, I don't have like a week's worth of data. Maybe that's something I should do on my second channel, is like test how my blood sugar reads after drinking a regular soda. Do that like one day and then go like 2 days without soda, and then do the next day with diet, and then see what I get. But on that day that I decided to be like nosy and find out, it like spiked me. I hadn't had nothing to eat either, so that was just drinking a 16-ounce Diet Coke. I didn't have like anything to eat with that on that day. But yeah, these days, you know what? Like, I understand. Like, I really wish that cleaner eating was more available for people that, you know, live on a paycheck to paycheck type scale. Like, I would love to be able to like buy. I mean, because like farmers markets here, they're so expensive nowadays. Everything costs so much more. It literally like it freaking has a grip hold of my wallet. Um. Oh yeah, be careful. At Politic Grand, be careful if you're typing in all caps. I didn't even know that freaking Nightbot was working, but it's working. So I guess Nightbot does work in my live stream chats now because it's giving you a warning to not type in all caps. Bubbly has flavored sparkling water without sweeteners. Yeah, I don't know. I've never trusted those things, so I just never really go for it. I drink green tea every now and then. It is my beer, put it that way. Like instead of drinking Budweiser on a hard day, I'd rather drink me an ice cold green tea and that's it. Is it like the most healthiest for me? No, but it's not something that I like overdo. Like I don't overdo green tea like every second of the day. In between these things that I drink is a lot of water. I'm following my wife's regimen of what she does. Like my meal sizes are not the same as hers because hers is so totally different. Like I'm pretty transparent with you guys. The fact is that like my wife had undergone surgery. She needed to because she was borderline diabetic and she didn't want to end up that way. And she decided to go and do this. It's called a gastric sleeve, and that has helped her also on her journey where she has lost 71 pounds. So she is down like 71 pounds, like 72 pounds. And she sticks with her eating. She doesn't eat as much, which is really cool. Like because like she'll have maybe like a 3-ounce piece of steak and maybe like half a cup of like a Caesar salad, and she's full. And it's like I joke around with her because I admire her for doing all these things, but like she knows her full cues because if she starts to sneeze, sneezing is one of the signs that is a telltale sign that she's full from eating. And like it usually happens like pretty cool because like she'll start to sneeze, she'll like get a tissue, she'll sneeze, she'll be like, okay, I'm done. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, are you sure you're full? She goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm full. And then comes the hiccups. The hiccups comes a little bit after, maybe like 3 or 4 minutes after she sits there and waits. Once she gets the first hiccup, then it's like for sure she's done. So like it's weird because there's not a lot of restaurants that are bariatric friendly. This is one of the things I struggle with. I even had like a waitress kind of like give us a little bullshit attitude. I ended up like telling her off in front of everybody in the restaurant. We went to a restaurant that's adjacent to Texas Roadhouse. It's like a burger bar and grill place. And the lady was just being weird about it because I explained to her that my wife is she's a recovered bariatric patient, so that's why we were ordering one meal, like because of the way that my wife eats. I have adopted that, so like I've realized that I used to overeat than what I really needed to. So now me and my wife, we split meals at a restaurant. Like we'll order like the bacon guacamole burger, she'll just eat like the burger and the fixings and she'll like take the bread off. But like we cut the burger in half, she eats like maybe like a little bit close to a quarter of that half, and I can eat just one half to myself and be full. Oh, that comes with like whatever else is on there. I know she goes for like onion rings, so I'll go and like I'll have like maybe 1 or 2 onion rings, half of that burger, and I'm done. Like so nowadays I realize like what I was eating before was just because of like how my dad had me when I was a child. And some of you guys who are around my age will remember our parents used to always tell us that make sure you finish your food on your plate, like don't waste food. So we were conditioned to always think that whatever was on the plate we needed to finish it in order to be respectful, and that's furthest from it. Like so I don't even do that with my kids. If my kids eat and they're like I'm full, if they're full, fine, go, like you're done. They're like, what do I do with my food? And I'll tell them like I have like a Tupperware that I put in the kitchen, and I'll tell them put your food in the Tupperware. If it's something that's salvageable, they can eat it for a snack the next day. Like when they get home from school and they're hungry, they can finish what they didn't finish for dinner, right? Take it out of the fridge, warm it up, eat it. If they're not going to eat it at all, then, it gets tossed or the dogs take it. Like my dog Velvet will take like the leftover ribs, the leftover burger. We don't give her the other stuff because I don't want her to eat anything that she's not supposed to be eating. But yeah. Tricks trick is to walk every day at least 3 miles no matter what. I go hiking every day. And the hiking, the minimum hiking that we do, the smallest trail that we do is 5 miles. So that's why lately you guys have been seeing either videos that I decide to record and I'm on a hiking trail up a mountain, or I go to the park and me and my wife play Pokemon Go for like 2.5 hours. We're freaking weird like that. Do you compost your wasted food? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't. Because most of the wasted food is normally eaten by the dogs. Like I told you, like the way that we cook nowadays, of our meals, like the biggest portion of the meal is protein. That never gets wasted. Then veggies, and if at times a small amount of carbs, whether it's pasta, whether it's bread or rice, is the smallest part. And myself, like I don't do that with that anymore. As far as like the carb side, maybe like once every other couple of days, I will have something that's basically of the carbs, because you can't completely cut out carbs out of your diet. Like that's ludicrous to do that. You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be the biggest part of your meal, but it doesn't need to be absolutely removed from your meal. But I eat it sparingly every now and then, But majority of it is basically vegetables and fruits. But lettuce, like people always think that lettuce is like the best way to go. Lettuce is like an empty it's an empty vegetation. It really doesn't provide a whole lot of like health compared to like having beets or having like whatever else is out there, like cauliflower and kale and all that. It's good though. I love the taste of lettuce. I don't know about you guys, but I love the taste of lettuce. I think it's great. But I use lettuce as in replacement of like, say like my wife wants to make like a chicken fajita style burrito, and instead of a tortilla, she uses a lettuce wrap. Yeah, I think a lot of the things really changed. Like I've talked in the past about being healthier, but I think a lot of it kicked into high gear when my mom passed away last year. Well, my mom passed away last year, and it's also because of complications of type 2 diabetes. She's had several strokes. When you're type 2 diabetic, you are a high risk for a stroke in your life. And that's always something that's in the back of my mind that I worry about every day. But that really kind of kicked it into high gear for me to really watch what I do, watch what I eat. Leaf lettuce is good. Add handful of spinach. Yeah, spinach I love spinach. One of my favorite things to do with spinach, I don't know if you guys ever would try this, but so like in Hawaii, we eat something that's called lau lau. Lau lau is it's a steamed dish, but what you do is you take the taro leaf and you put like 2 pieces of butterfish, pork belly fat, and then spinach, unless you have more taro leaves that you can shred up and soak. But if not, you can use spinach, and you wrap it up in like a little bowl, kind of like a hobo pack, and you steam it. The fish you use is black cod. In Hawaii, they call black cod butterfish, but really good. But yeah, I love spinach. Spinach with fish, spinach with chicken is good. Mustard greens, kale, other leafy greens. Yeah, kale's like a big thing that we like. And then, believe it or not, the cauliflower rice is an actual good substitute than actual white rice. For anyone out there that doesn't believe it, it actually is. I don't eat it too often. Usually when my wife wants to make an Asian inspired dish, like if she wants to make me like homemade teriyaki chicken or something like that, she'll use cauliflower rice rather than regular rice. I haven't told my kids that. They think it's regular rice. I'm glad they won't watch this far into the live stream, which we're like 2 hours in, but yeah, we use cauliflower rice. We don't use regular rice. We haven't used regular rice in 5 months. Yeah, my goal is not to live forever. My goal is to live long enough to see that my kids are okay. When they're all in their 20s, mid-20s, and they're all doing okay, they're like several years into their career, and I know they're going to be fine. Because they can never guarantee me that their life will be perfect and nothing else will happen down the road. But at least that I know if they're off on a good start, They're beyond the entry levels of their adulthood, and they're now into like a daily routine of going to work, paying their finances, making good financial choices, making good life decisions. I can pass away in peace because I know my kids got it. That is my only purpose this like these days, is just to make sure their guidance is good and to make sure that they are set up for success. That's it. I would love to meet my grandkids, but if I don't get a chance to, because my youngest daughter doesn't want to have kids. Like, she's made that clear. She's only 12. Yes, it's too soon for her to decide that. But as of right now, she's always told me, I don't want to have kids. She wants to get into the criminal justice system, and she wants to be about that life. Like, she wants that to be her life. And I told her, like, right now you feel that way. And hey, if that's what you want to do, great. Like, be the best ATF agent that you can be. But at some point when you feel like that you want to have kids, like, don't be afraid to just say, hey, I changed my mind. I want to get married. I want to have kids. Like, that's the beauty about life, is that you don't always have to be one thing. You can always change directions in life and make things better for yourself. Because at the end of the day, the real fucking secret to life is that you live your life and you live your life happy. This is the reason why I don't entertain a lot of that political bullshit that we see a lot on social media. I don't play into the the whole thing of like dividing, because the government is going to do and say what they want to say to get your vote. I know this. And you may have a good person that goes into office and takes control and does make things better for the American people, but they only have 4 years. And after 4 years, somebody else that believed in the other guy's vision can end up winning and taking office. And now we're going to be doing that person. So like, it's like, I don't give a fuck about that type of stuff, because unless it's going to be permanent, we're just riding the wave like everybody else. 4 years will be good. 4 years will be bad. Maybe we'll get, 4 years plus another 4 years of good, and then another, 8 years of bad. You never know. But I don't concern myself with those things. My only concern is to be able to say when I'm dead that I was happy with what I'd done. And I was happy with what my life turned out to be. I don't want to be a billionaire. Like, if I made it to be a billionaire, great. But if I don't ever in my life, that's fine. It doesn't mean that I failed in life. A lot of people always kind of think like these material things is what matters most, and they really don't. I say this, and some people think that I'm an arrogant douchebag when I say that I am a king. But I'm not a king of people. I don't rule other people, but I am the king of my universe. And, I control what happens around me. So if I have, like a very depressing life, it's because I've made decisions in life that led to that. This is why they always say that you have to really weigh out your options. Think about what you're about to do before doing it, because they can affect your life down the road. But the beauty about life is that nothing is permanent. You may make a bad decision and lead to a road that becomes a dead end. Some people are too scared to just turn around and go back to where they started and then try a different path. So they make up excuses. They make up reasons why someone needs to come and break down that wall, changing it from a dead end to a path. And it's like, no, that's not going to help you in life. Never be afraid to go back to the start and relearn things and retry things, because then the roads open up more and more for you, and more paths that you didn't see before become visible. They say that that when the Spaniards came to South America, the reason why that a lot of the natives, didn't notice the ships coming towards them was because they've never seen any of those types of ships before. I mean, if your brain and mind does not recognize something, it's not going to see it at first. It's not until it's fully frontal in front of your face where you can't see beyond it is where it becomes so visual that even if you don't know what it is, you're going to recognize it. And the way that you travel in life is the same way. You may not see all the paths in front of you that's going to lead you to a better place. You have to sometimes take roads that lead to dead ends. This is called learning. And the day you stop learning is the day you stop living, because there's not an absolute being in life walking this earth today that knows so much about life that they just got it all figured out. Everybody who's been successful has failed at one point in time, because failure is not what people believe it to be or perceive it to be. It's not the most negative thing of life. The most negative thing of life is never trying. It's sitting there and saying, I wish I could have done this, but you never gave it a shot. Like, I'll share something with you guys. No, you guys will never find it. But like, in my early 20s, I wanted to be a rapper. I wrote rhymes in a composition book. I recorded music. I recorded myself. I suck. I'm not out there like Eminem and all them, but I gave it a shot. I gave it a chance. I got people who roasted the fuck out of me on different platforms, made fun of me. I got people who thought my stuff was pretty decent. I may not have made it, but I tried, and it wasn't for me. And when I think about it now, being 42 years old, and I look back then, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have made it in the industry because I'm not about that lifestyle. I'm not about doing dirt and doing all kinds of other things. And I don't like my life in a full broadcast where every aspect of my life is out there for every other publication to critique. So I'm glad that I never went that route. One of my things is I love doing this. I love podcasting. I love making videos. Okay. My channel is not the greatest at it, but I'm learning all the time. I've been on here since 2011, and I still don't portray myself as someone that knows everything about being a YouTube content creator. Like, I don't know everything about how the algorithm pushes your videos and things like that. I can tell you what I've done that has made my channel slightly fail a little bit at a certain time, and what I learned from it, and then what I've changed that rebounded me to come back and to continue to do what I do here. I can tell people about that. Doesn't mean it's going to work absolutely the same way for anybody else. It worked for me. So I love doing this. Is this my job? No, because a job is something that you go to earn a living. And I don't earn a living off of YouTube. Do I get brand deals and stuff like that? Yes, I do. Are some of those lucrative? Yes, they have been. But I'll tell you this though, like what I do here, I enjoy doing. And so I'm always learning about what I can do better. Should I put this in my tags? Should I make my videos this way? Should I do live streaming this way? I learn all the time. I actually do take the YouTube Academy classes from the Studios app to learn a little bit more insight as to how YouTube is doing things, because they do change the algorithm, and the algorithm does change on how it pushes videos. So algorithm can work this way today and work a different day tomorrow. I've learned that. The reason why YouTube does it is because they don't want people gaming the algorithm. They want people's videos to grow based upon how they've presented their videos and let it be a natural growth. And I'm fine with that. One of the things that I can say about life is that if you don't do the things that make you happy, if everything that you do is based on the choice to make other people happy and other people successful, then you can't say that you really lived. Yes, we all have to work for somebody, but if you work a job that you actually enjoy doing, regardless if you have a boss, regardless if it's a 9-to-5 job, if it's something that you're happy doing, then you are living, because that's what you like to do. You just so happen to work for a company doing it, and you just so happen to be paid for it. That's the difference. This is the reason why, like I was telling my son, the reason why you see some of your friends jumping from one job to another is because they're not happy with what they're doing. They're just doing it because it's going to pay them X amount of dollars an hour, but they don't enjoy the work that they do. When you find a job that you enjoy the work that you do, it no longer becomes a job because it's something that you enjoy doing. It's like him, he wants to be in cybersecurity and everything. So if he gets a job in that career field, he enjoys doing that. It just so happens that the company that he's doing it for is paying him X amount of dollars an hour or every 2 weeks or a month. That's the real ticket. Some people enjoy farming. Some people enjoy working at a grocery store as a cashier. Some people enjoy stocking produce in a grocery store. Some people love being behind the counter, renting vehicles out to people who need to rent a car. Some people love doing auto mechanical work. Some people love doing computer work. Some people love cybersecurity. Some people love game development. Some people love podcasting and talking about tech. Some people love skateboarding for a living. Some people love mountain biking for a living. It's when you do what you love doing, it no longer is a job. It just so happens you're paid to do it. That's the secret, is finding what you love to do and being paid for that is the bonus, because it allows you to buy your food, pay your rent, put gas in your car, pay your electric bill, pay your Wi-Fi bill. And every day you get up, you don't feel like you're getting up to drag your ass to work. You get up to go do what you love to do and make money doing it. There's people that I know that love being a teacher. Some people talk about teachers aren't paid enough. Yes, they're not paid enough for the bullshit they got to deal with today with some kids and how the parents don't raise the kids. But there's teachers out there who do it not only for the money, but they do it because that's what they enjoy to do. They enjoy shaping the young minds of our next generation to make sure that the next generation has a good footing and a good advanced step into the life of adulthood and to continue on that. I have mad respect for teachers out there because they have one of the hardest jobs. They got to put up with my kids and my kids' bullshit. I mean, I'm at work, so I don't see what my kids do in school. They do. So not only are they teaching my kids things that's required for them to know to help them, but they're also babysitter because they got to deal with my child and their behavior. It's why, like I always tell my kids, like, you're not going to disrespect your teachers, none under my watch. I don't care if your friends shit talk a teacher to make the whole class laugh. I always told my daughters, and I told my son, if I ever find out that you badmouth a teacher, you're gonna get your lip split. Not that I'm really gonna beat them or anything like that, but I always tell them that because I want them not to do that. And on top of that, I even show them the reasons why they shouldn't. Like my oldest daughter, she knows not to backtalk a teacher, but I tell her, like, you got to understand, some teachers are frustrated. Some teachers go through a lot. Maybe before you go to her class for fourth period, maybe there's a student in third period that gives her a hard time every day. So that's why she acts the way that she does when by the time you get to her class. I was like, but the least that you can do is shut up and listen, obtain the knowledge that she's passing to you, do the work, do the homework, and that's it. Like, you're only in her class for like 55 minutes a day. You'll be fine. That's the way I was growing up. I gave teachers a hard time. Yes, I did. But I think the time where I got into a fist fight with one of my teachers in 8th grade, I felt bad. And from then, I never laid a hand on the teacher again. And it was because, like, it sounds like a storybook. Before I end the live stream, I'll end it on this. So yeah, the teacher would always make fun of the way that I dress. I didn't have good clothes growing up because I ran away from home a lot, so I wasn't around my dad. And I know one day he cracked a joke about me, so I got pissed off and in a dramatic fit, grabbed a chair and threw it across the room. And when he told me to get out of his class is when I got it in his face. He said one word, I forgot what it was, but when he said that word, I socked him and knocked him out. I regret doing that. So I was luckily suspended for 2 weeks out of school. And he decided not to press charges on me. He could have, where then, HPD would have to have come and arrested me and take me to juvie, but he didn't press charges. So in that time that I was suspended from school, I know one day, me and my friends, we were like, yeah, we're gonna mob him after school, which is jumping, and me being stupid. So we went along, we followed him. I got to see what his life was like, and I could tell just from like the outside in, I can see that his life was stressful. I can see that, he was a lonely person, I found out through other people, like other teachers, that he had gone through a divorce recently. There's a lot of stuff going on with him. I felt bad because I didn't make it any easier for him, I know it's not my job to make it easier for a teacher, but there's this real ground called respect. This ground of being a good human being. A lot of people are always like, to get respect, you got to give respect. And my sense is like, okay, that's like one of those questions, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg type of thing. I don't give a shit, really. I should have just bit my tongue, accepted what was, because I only dealt with him for 48 minutes a day. get out of his class, go to my next class, everything would have been fine. But I let myself run away with my own emotions. There's a lot of things that teachers do and teachers put up with. Some, I'm not going to say all teachers are good. There are some teachers that, you know, I wouldn't even call them teachers because they don't fit the bill on it, you know? But if you're a teacher, I have respect for you and big shout out to you. And, you know, if you're a teacher who loves doing what they're doing, you could even say the same thing as I've been saying before. When you're doing something that you love, it's no longer a job. It's something that you love to do. You just so happen to be paid for it. I leave you guys with that thought. If it got deep, sorry it did. I appreciate you guys for staying and hanging out and listening to what I had to say. I love you guys very much. You guys be cool, be safe out there. Again, if you guys want to sign up for Helium Mobile, try them out for 1 month free. Go ahead and do that. Shout out to my wife. She opened up a line on Helium Mobile and used my promo code to get herself set up for her phone to be used. Since she's going to earn crypto while doing Amazon Flex, means that she's going to be using those rewards to pay her bill. She don't got to worry about paying an extra bill every month. It's covered by the crypto that she earns. The deal in crypto. Check them out at heliummobile.com. You can watch any of my videos that I talk about Helium Mobile. Get acquainted with them. But yeah, scan the QR code or look into the description. It has the promo code. Before checking out, before proceeding to check out, right above the breakdown of how much you're paying, you should see a part that says promo or apply promo. That's where you type the promo code in before you proceed to check out. And your first month will be free. After that, it's $20 a month. So I appreciate you guys hanging out for 2 hours. I'm going to jam.